It doesn't make smartphones. It doesn't make cars. It doesn't make weapons. And yet, every iPhone you swipe, every Tesla you drive, every missile a superpower launches, depends on this one company. You've probably never seen its name on a billboard. You won't find its logo on your laptop. But behind the scenes, it's the beating heart of the digital age. From Silicon Valley to Shenzhen, from gaming consoles to nuclear command centers, TSMC powers it all. It manufactures the world's most advanced microchips, microscopic circuits thinner than a human hair, yet powerful enough to run AI models, steer autonomous cars, and guide military drones. And here's the twist. It does all this from a single island, Taiwan, just 100 miles from China. In a world obsessed with oil, gold, and data, this company became the new kingmaker, quietly. But now, it's no longer just a tech story. It's a war story, a power story, a survival story. Because whoever controls TSMC controls the future. This is the untold rise of TSMC, the most important company in the world. And this time, the world can't afford to look away. Imagine a company that doesn't sell any products to you. No phones, no laptops, no cars. And yet, you use its technology every single day. That company is TSMC, the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company. Headquartered in Hsinchu Science Park, TSMC is Taiwan's largest company and the world's biggest dedicated chip foundry. In 2025, it ranked number 38 on the Forbes Global 2000. Its semiconductors power a $500 billion tech industry, make up nearly 30% of Taiwan's stock market, and drive a massive portion of the country's economy. Chips alone account for 25% of Taiwan's GDP. While the Taiwanese government remains its largest shareholder, most of TSMC's ownership is now held by foreign investors, including some of the world's biggest asset managers. It doesn't make iPhones, but your iPhone can't function without it. It doesn't build jets, but the F-35 fighter, the most advanced aircraft in the world, relies on its chips. It doesn't design processors, it manufactures them. For Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Qualcomm, and even Intel. Yes, even Intel, the once undisputed king of chipmaking, now outsources its most advanced designs to TSMC. Why? Because TSMC isn't just another supplier. It's the world's most advanced chip foundry. Chips smaller than viruses, more powerful than entire rooms of computers from a decade ago. But this wasn't always the case. To understand how TSMC became the invisible backbone of modern life, you have to go back to 1987. That's when a 56-year-old engineer named Morris Chang, a former executive at Texas Instruments, took a leap no one else dared to take. But TSMC wasn't built alone. In 1986, the Taiwanese government offered Morris Chang a blank check. Intel said no. Texas Instruments passed. Only Philips stepped forward, with $58 million, key patents, and a 27.5% stake. The rest came from Taiwan's wealthiest industrial families, invited by the state to invest. And the government itself? Through the National Development Fund, it provided 48% of the startup capital. TSMC's first CEO wasn't even Chang, it was a Philips executive, James E. Dykes. From the very beginning, TSMC was more than a private venture. It was a state-engineered experiment in sovereignty, science, and industrial ambition. Back then, chip companies were vertically integrated. Intel, IBM, Motorola, they designed the chips, manufactured them, and sold them under one roof. What if one company did nothing but manufacture chips for everyone else? No design, no branding, no competing with its clients. Just the pure, brutal science of fabrication. A neutral platform, the Switzerland of chips. It was called a pure-play foundry. And everyone thought it would fail. But Taiwan believed in Chang. The government invested in his vision, hoping to turn the island into a high-tech powerhouse. TSMC became the centerpiece of Taiwan's industrial strategy. While the world's biggest tech firms raced to design better chips, TSMC quietly became the factory of the future, building what no one else could. Today, its fabs can etch transistors smaller than a strand of DNA. Its engineers operate at the bleeding edge of physics. And the company has become so vital that the world quite literally can't function without it. TSMC is invisible, and yet indispensable. A quiet empire that now powers the devices in your pocket, the networks in the sky, and the ambitions of superpowers on the edge of conflict. TSMC didn't just rise, it engineered its dominance. While others fought over market share, TSMC mastered the impossible, making chips at 5 nanometers, then 3 nanometers, now racing to 2 nanometers, where transistors are practically atomic. It was a game only the boldest could play, and TSMC bet billions on it. It invested relentlessly in EUV lithography, the most advanced chip-making technology ever built. Machines so complex they're flown in piece by piece from a single company in the Netherlands, ASML, and cost over $150 million each. And TSMC doesn't just use them, it perfects them. Its commitment wasn't to profits, it was to technological supremacy. Even when others hesitated, TSMC pushed forward. While competitors like Intel stumbled, TSMC became the go-to factory for the future. That's why Apple moved all its iPhone chips to TSMC. It's why Nvidia's AI chips, AMD's processors, and even Intel's most advanced designs now rely on this one company. But here's where the story turns, from business legend to global chessboard. When chips became more valuable than oil, the factory that made them became more powerful than the nations that need them. TSMC became that factory. The world's two biggest superpowers, the United States and China, both depend on it. It manufactures chips for US defense systems. And it once made them for Chinese tech giants like Huawei. Because nobody else on Earth can match its scale, speed, or precision. But in 2020, TSMC's neutrality faced its first real test. But when the US imposed sanctions on Huawei, TSMC had to choose, and it chose the West.
For a look at the latest business news, and the US has hit Huawei with an array of criminal charges for violating Iran sanctions and stealing trade secrets. To tell us more about that, Yuka Royer joined us now in studio. Yuka, a number of charges levied against the chief finance officer.
That move cut off China's access to advanced chips, crippling its ambitions in AI, 5G, and military tech. And now, TSMC finds itself in the middle of a tech war it never asked to fight. The US is desperate to reduce its dependence. It's forcing TSMC to build new fabs in Arizona, offering billions in subsidies.
New tonight, TSMC has broken ground on its third semiconductor fabrication plant. This is part of TSMC's massive expansion plan in Arizona.
But here's the truth no one likes to admit. The real magic, the crown jewels, are still in Taiwan. Meanwhile, China is watching. To Beijing, Taiwan isn't just a chip island, it's a breakaway province. But to the rest of the world, Taiwan has become Silicon Shield, too valuable to invade, too risky to lose. TSMC, without ever meaning to, has become a strategic weapon. A private company with the power to tip economies. It's no longer just about chips. It's about who controls the future of technology, and who controls the company building it. TSMC isn't just the world's most important chip maker, it's the monopoly no one wants to admit exists. Over 90% of the planet's most advanced chips come from a single company. One island, one supply chain, one point of failure. What happens when the world bets its entire digital future on one factory? For all its brilliance, TSMC is fragile. An earthquake in Taiwan, a power outage, a cyber attack. Even a minor disruption could send shockwaves through every global tech company, from Apple and Amazon to the Pentagon. And the cost of this dominance goes beyond risk. It's deeply resource-intensive. TSMC fabs consume millions of gallons of ultra-pure water daily, massive energy resources, and rely on a supply chain that stretches across oceans. Can we sustain the chip industry's hunger without destroying the planet? Then there's the secrecy. TSMC doesn't speak loudly, but it holds the keys. It decides who gets chips, when, and how much they pay. And while Western governments scramble to catch up, the truth is hard to swallow. Even America's proudest tech companies, Intel included, can't compete with TSMC's manufacturing precision and consistency. So how much is too much power for one private company? The US has responded by offering billions to TSMC to build fabs in Arizona.
Today, Taiwan Semiconductor is announcing that they will be investing at least $100 billion in new capital in the United States over the next short period of time to build state-of-the-art semiconductor manufacturing facilities. I think mostly it's going to be in Arizona, which is what I understand, which is a great state.
Japan, too, is rushing to host a piece of the chip throne. These efforts aim to de-risk the global supply chain, to not be held hostage by geography. But here's the harsh reality: you can't relocate Taiwan. As Morris Chang, the company's legendary founder, said bluntly, you cannot move the whole ecosystem. The machines may be built elsewhere, but the expertise, the engineers, the supplier network, the soul of TSMC, still lives in Taiwan. Rising US-China tensions. A militarized Taiwan Strait, and a company that both sides can't live without. If China invades, or even blockades Taiwan, the world could face a tech collapse overnight. So the question becomes, can TSMC remain neutral forever? Or is it just a matter of time before it's forced to choose sides? This is no longer just about chips. It's about sovereignty, survival, and supremacy. Because the world's most advanced technology now depends on a single company. And if TSMC falls, the modern world falls with it. One company, one island, one chip at a time, TSMC quietly built the backbone of the modern world. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't flash logos. And yet, every app you open, every smart device you touch, every global innovation you admire, is powered by the silence of TSMC. But silence has limits. As the world races into an AI-driven, hyper-connected future, TSMC has become more than a tech supplier. It's now a keystone of global power. So the question isn't just, how did TSMC become so powerful? But rather, what happens if that power is ever broken? Because in the end, this isn't just about chips.